Hello, this is Avi Loeb. Let's examine the evidence carefully. Imagine an energy release comparable to that of a small star, compressed not over centuries or millennia, but into a window of just 47 minutes, and occurring not in a distant galaxy, but within our own solar neighborhood. That is precisely what instruments around the world recorded. In less than 12 hours, an interstellar object designated 3I Atlas underwent a change unlike anything previously observed. Measurements taken one day placed its effective diameter at approximately 2.6 miles. Follow-up observations the next day indicated a span exceeding 5.4 miles. Objects of this type do not double in apparent size overnight, not naturally, not according to any existing physical model. Publicly, there has been little discussion. Privately, multiple space agencies convened urgent meetings. Planned flybys were quietly postponed. Observation schedules were adjusted. The reason is simple. The behavior of 3I Atlas does not resemble outgassing, fragmentation, tidal disruption, or any known cometary or asteroidal process. It defies the conventional explanations we rely on to describe small bodies in space. The growth was not chaotic. It followed symmetry. High-resolution images captured before and after the event reveal organized geometric expansion, angular extensions radiating from the core, repeating structural patterns, and cylindrical formations emerging in mathematically consistent sequences. Natural processes tend toward irregularity. This did not. During the event, observatories worldwide detected an intense infrared flare originating from a single point. The radiation was so concentrated that instruments from Chile to Hawaii were forced into protective shutdown to prevent permanent damage. These are telescopes designed to observe supernovae in distant galaxies, yet they were temporarily blinded by a source within our own solar system. The energy output persisted for exactly 47 minutes, not 46, not 48. When it subsided, the object that remained was measurably larger and structurally altered. Spectral analysis indicates that temperatures at the core exceeded 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Under such conditions, volatile materials should have been destroyed. Instead, internal structures appear to have reorganized, becoming more complex and more resilient. This was not simple heating, it was transformation. The expansion occurred in distinct stages. First came internal restructuring, an organized reconfiguration of the core rather than surface erosion. This was followed by a systematic outward extension, as if a framework were being assembled step by step. Finally, separate sections of the expanded structure appeared to link together, forming integrated networks detectable through coordinated electromagnetic emissions. These signals were not random noise. Radio telescopes recorded ordered, repeatable sequences following clear mathematical relationships, patterns consistent with controlled processes rather than natural turbulence. One senior radio astronomer described the emissions as eerily organized, less like a natural outburst and more like synchronized activity, communication without language, coordination without chaos. We must be cautious. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, but we must also remain faithful to the data. 3I Atlas is behaving in ways that inert space debris does not. Its energy profile, structural evolution, and precise timing raise serious scientific questions. Is this an unknown natural phenomenon? Possibly. Is it something we do not yet understand? Almost certainly. But dismissing the observations simply because they are unsettling would itself be unscientific. What occurred during those 12 hours, while much of Earth was asleep, was not random expansion. It was not accidental growth. It was deliberate, structured, and efficient. Whether the explanation involves exotic physics or advanced technology remains an open question. But one conclusion is unavoidable. This object is not merely passing through our solar system. It is doing something. And for the first time, humanity may be witnessing an interstellar visitor actively changing itself in real time. This was not a comet doubling in size. What the data shows is something unfolding, systematically. Consider the physics for a moment. The amount of energy required to drive an expansion of this scale within 12 hours should have produced a detectable signature far beyond our solar system. We are talking about energy levels comparable to a small star, released not over millennia but compressed into a single night. And yet, until the moment the expansion began, 3I Atlas showed no abnormal energy output, no gradual buildup, no warning signs, nothing. So where did the power come from? That question alone challenges our current understanding of energy generation and storage. Some theoretical physicists suggest the possibility of vacuum energy extraction, drawing power from quantum fluctuations that exist everywhere in space but remain inaccessible to human technology. Others speculate about interactions with higher dimensional physics, mechanisms that could tap energy across boundaries we do not yet know how to observe. But the most unsettling hypothesis is this: 3I Atlas may not be generating energy at all. The energy patterns recorded during the expansion are consistent with directed input, highly focused, externally supplied power delivered with extraordinary precision, not interplanetary transmission, interstellar. If that interpretation is correct, then 3I Atlas is not operating alone. It would be connected to infrastructure beyond our detection range, supplied by a system capable of transmitting immense energy across vast distances with virtually zero loss. That level of capability would place its source well beyond anything humanity can currently imagine. A physicist specializing in exotic energy systems, who reviewed portions of the data under restricted conditions, summarized the implication clearly. If an intelligence can deliver this amount of power to this exact location at this exact time, then we are not dealing with advanced tools. We are dealing with mastery over physical law. This aligns with what theorists describe as a Type II civilization on the Kardashev scale, one capable of harnessing the full energy output of an entire star. But it is not just the scale that is troubling. It is the control. Every unit of energy appears to have been delivered exactly where needed, with no detectable waste. That kind of precision suggests engineering operating at a level where inefficiency has been eliminated entirely. If 3I Atlas is receiving power from elsewhere, then it is not just a machine, it is a node, part of a larger network. The structures that emerged during its expansion follow deep mathematical principles: hexagonal lattices, spiral geometries consistent with the golden ratio, repeating fractal patterns across multiple scales. These are not decorative forms. In physics, such structures are known to maximize strength, optimize electromagnetic behavior, and enable efficient signal transmission. Hexagonal frameworks provide maximum structural integrity with minimal material. Spiral formations naturally enhance electromagnetic field stability. Fractal geometries function as broadband antennas, capable of transmitting and receiving information across enormous distances with extraordinary clarity. This suggests design by an intelligence that understands the fundamental architecture of reality and uses it deliberately. During the expansion event, 3I Atlas was not only building, it was communicating. Radio telescopes detected structured electromagnetic signals throughout the 12-hour sequence. These transmissions were organized, layered across multiple frequencies, and incorporated advanced error correction systems far beyond those used in modern human communications. Most disturbing was not the outgoing signal, but the response. The transmissions were answered. Signals returned from multiple locations within the solar system. Objects long catalogued as inert asteroids suddenly exhibited coordinated electromagnetic behavior, responding with confirmations, timing adjustments, and positional data. These were not broadcasts, they were replies. Signal analysis indicates that 3I Atlas was receiving real-time construction instructions, step-by-step guidance dictating what to assemble, how to assemble it, and when to proceed. The timing of these instructions accounted for signal delay in a way that suggests predictive coordination rather than reactive control. In other words, the expansion was not autonomous. It was supervised. High-resolution imaging of the post-expansion structure reveals another deeply unsettling detail. This is not just machinery. It is infrastructure. Internal compartments appear pressurized and proportioned for entities significantly larger than humans. Environmental systems maintain atmospheric compositions incompatible with human biology, but potentially suitable for non-terrestrial life forms. Even more troubling are docking structures, ports scaled for vehicles larger than 3I Atlas itself. This suggests that the object is not an endpoint, but a hub. Some interior volumes appear larger than their external dimensions would allow, hinting at spatial manipulation that challenges conventional geometry. Structural supports bear loads through mechanisms we cannot identify. Power systems operate without any visible fuel, exhaust, or thermal loss. The expanded structure also contains manufacturing capabilities, fabrication chambers capable of processing raw material, assembly zones designed for continuous automated production. But this manufacturing is not general purpose. It is specialized. The components being produced do not resemble any known human technology, yet they conform to the same engineering logic seen throughout the structure. This is not a probe, not a laboratory, not a monument. 3I Atlas appears to be preparation, and the most disturbing question remains unanswered. Preparation for what? It appears equipped to manufacture whatever its operators might require for a prolonged presence in our solar system. This aligns closely with long-standing theoretical models of self-replicating probes, machines designed to enter a star system, harvest local resources, and construct additional infrastructure to extend their mission. A structural engineer who examined the expansion imagery summarized the implications succinctly. Even the basic load-bearing calculations imply construction techniques centuries beyond anything humanity can achieve. But the deeper concern is this: these structures are not designed for human use. Their proportions, internal layouts, and environmental tolerances suggest occupation by intelligences fundamentally different from us. The timing of this transformation is significant. It suggests that 3I Atlas has completed its shift from passive reconnaissance to active deployment. Whatever purpose brought it here, the covert phase appears to be over. 3I Atlas was not merely a machine, it was an invitation. NASA's public silence regarding the expansion is not simple bureaucratic caution. It reflects response protocols developed for precisely this scenario. Declassified summaries and insider accounts indicate that major space agencies have quietly prepared for decades for the possibility of encountering artificial objects of unknown origin, objects displaying capabilities far beyond human technology. The recommended response in every case is the same: observe, but never engage. These protocols are based on a sobering assumption. If an intelligence can travel between stars, operate autonomously for thousands or millions of years, and manipulate matter and energy on this scale, then any defensive action on our part would be meaningless. Analysis of the expanded structure suggests several possible mission profiles, none of them reassuring. The first is industrial extraction. The manufacturing systems could be designed to strip mine asteroids, moons, and even planets, converting entire regions of the solar system into refined resources for use elsewhere. The second is comprehensive observation. The sensor arrays and communication systems appear capable of monitoring every major body in the solar system, including continuous analysis of Earth and human technological activity. The third is strategic positioning. The location, scale, and modular design indicate that 3I Atlas could function as a forward operating hub, a staging point for further activity throughout the inner solar system, with the capacity to manufacture and deploy additional assets as needed. But the most disturbing possibility is that this expansion is only preparatory. The docking facilities are capable of accommodating vehicles far larger than 3I Atlas itself. The communication infrastructure is scaled for data volumes that imply coordination with multiple external systems. The manufacturing capacity exceeds what would be required for self-maintenance, suggesting construction projects on a far larger scale. A former aerospace executive familiar with classified contingency planning described the situation bluntly. The planning documents accept a harsh reality. Humanity is preparing responses to intelligences whose technological capabilities we cannot counter and may not even fully understand. The expansion event has reportedly triggered the highest levels of these protocols. Military surveillance satellites have been repositioned for continuous monitoring. Deep space communication networks are operating at maximum sensitivity. Emergency meetings are taking place at classification levels unknown to most government officials. Even major private aerospace corporations have quietly activated long-standing contingency plans, aware that human dominance of near-Earth space may already be ending. But perhaps the most telling detail is what is not happening. There have been no attempts at contact, no probes dispatched for closer inspection, no detailed public explanations beyond vague acknowledgments of anomalous data. Our most effective defense, it seems, is not confrontation, but silence. The overnight doubling in size was not the end of 3I Atlas's transformation. It was the beginning. Current observations indicate that expansion is continuing at a steady and measurable rate, approximately a 2% increase in diameter every 24 hours. At this pace, 3I Atlas could exceed 12 miles across within 6 months. Continued growth at that scale would place it in the size range of a small moon long before we understand its true nature or intent. And the expansion is not merely about size. Each day reveals new structures, new systems, and new capabilities. Recently, observers have identified formations consistent with launch platforms, facilities designed to deploy smaller vehicles throughout the solar system. Manufacturing capacity continues to increase, with new production lines appearing on a near-daily basis. Most concerning are the energy systems. Power output is rising steadily, without any visible fuel source, exhaust, or waste heat. The system appears to operate with near-perfect efficiency in ways that challenge our most fundamental assumptions about physics. The communication arrays are also evolving. New antenna configurations suggest the ability to maintain continuous, real-time contact across interstellar distances, as if 3I Atlas is reporting progress to controllers located many light-years away. At the same time, the expansion shows signs of local adaptation. Newly formed structures appear optimized for solar radiation patterns, gravitational dynamics, and resource distributions unique to our solar system. It is as if the object is studying its environment and tailoring its growth accordingly. A specialist in space-based megastructure engineering offered a chilling assessment. What we are witnessing is not simple growth, it is deployment. This is the establishment of permanent infrastructure, an installation capable of supporting sustained operations throughout our solar system. There are no indicators that the expansion is slowing, no signs of completion, only evidence that whatever arrived here intends to stay. There is no indication of limits, no visible completion threshold. 3I Atlas appears engineered for continuous expansion, constrained only by the availability of raw material. And in a solar system rich with asteroids, moons, and resource-dense planets, those limits may be theoretical rather than real. At its current rate of growth, this object will not merely rival the moon in the coming years, it could eventually eclipse the scale of the cities we live in. The transformation of 3I Atlas marks the end of human dominance in our own solar system, before that dominance ever truly began. We are no longer alone. We are no longer the most advanced intelligence operating in our local space, and we may no longer be in control of our future. The expansion proves that our solar system now hosts technology operating on principles we do not understand, deployed by an intelligence we have never encountered for purposes we can only speculate about, and those speculations are not comforting. Its manufacturing systems could support resource extraction on a scale capable of dismantling entire worlds. Its communication networks could coordinate operations across multiple star systems simultaneously. Its energy systems could power projects that reshape solar systems according to designs entirely alien to human thought, purposes so far removed from our experience that we lack the conceptual language to describe them. But perhaps the most disturbing realization is this: 3I Atlas does not appear to be unique. The sophistication of its design, the precision of its behavior, and the flawless execution of its expansion suggest a technology refined through repetition. Somewhere else in the galaxy, other solar systems may have witnessed similar events. Other civilizations may have watched helplessly as their cosmic neighborhoods were transformed into infrastructure for purposes they could not comprehend. We are not the first, and we will not be the last. The expansion continues, the capabilities multiply, and humanity observes from the sidelines as our solar system slowly becomes something unrecognizable. The age of human dominance may have ended before it ever truly began, but the most chilling realization is not what 3I Atlas is doing now. It is what comes next. The docking facilities suggest this is only an early phase. The communication networks imply coordination with assets we have yet to detect. The manufacturing capacity is scaling for projects measured not in months, but in decades, perhaps centuries. 3I Atlas doubled in size overnight, but what it is becoming has the potential to change everything. The question is no longer whether we can stop what is happening. The question is whether we will survive long enough to understand what our solar system is being turned into once the expansion finally serves its ultimate purpose. Because when 3I Atlas reaches planetary scale, it will not just change our skies, it will decide our future. There is a lesson here, one humanity has avoided for most of its history. We have long believed we are the central characters of the universe, standing confidently at the center of the cosmic stage. 3I Atlas teaches us something far more humbling. We may be closer to ants living on an active construction site, unaware of the structure rising above us until the shadow finally falls. We must stop assuming that our understanding of physics defines the limits of reality, and we must begin preparing for a universe that is far more complex, far more populated, and far more advanced than we ever dared to imagine. So what do you think the true purpose of 3I Atlas is? A guardian, a miner, or something far more dangerous? Share your theories in the comments below, and subscribe. Because when 3I Atlas reaches its next phase, you won't want to miss what happens next.